Welcome back guys, this is Shrikant. Last video we talked about how to create the SSRS project, then how we discuss about the different thing on the IDE part. Okay, now in this video I'm going to create one RDL which we already added actually. In this video I'm going to show you how to create the data set or data sources. Basically these are the two different things, data sources and the data set. When I talk about the data source, what does it mean actually? When I say data source, it means that I need to connect to a respective server. Then I won't specify which code I am going to use. I only specify which connection I am going to take. So if you want to create the shared data sources, you need to click on a right. You need to click on a right click. Then you need to click on add new data source. Then such pop-up will appear here. Here you need to change, you need to give a proper name. I am specifying as first shared data source, and here basically you need to select which server are you connecting. If you are connecting Teradata, you need to select Teradata. If you are connecting to any Oracle, so you need to take OLDB connection. But if you're connecting to, let's say, SAP, NetWeaver, then you need to take this, then Power BI, and a lot of different things. Basically you have a specific Oracle also, but right now I'm only selecting the Microsoft SQL Server, so just selecting my server. Then you need to click on edit. Here actually you need to give all your string server name and all the stuff. Here if you have any server which is basically you are accessing over the public network, then you need to give the IP for that. Just specify the IP name or server name. I'm trying to connect the database server which is basically located on my local machine, so I will be using dot here, and I click on the drop down, so it will list down me all the server which I install on my machine. So I can see there are 3 server instances: Shrikant, Shrikant/Express, and Shrikant/SQL Express 01. So I'm selecting anyone. I'm selecting Shrikant, and here we have authentication. Here you can give your respective authentication if you are connecting on the public network. Right now I'm using my own authentication, so basically Windows authentication. I think this is very simple. Here once you selected your respective server, then you need to click on the drop down. Then it will list down all the databases which are present over your server. So I'm selecting, let's say, my first DB. Perfectly fine, or you can take any database for your testing purpose. So I'm taking TR database. Recently I created that one. Then you need to click on a test connection. So if everything is okay, that your server name you have passed is correct, your IP is correct, if you are connecting over the public network, your authentication is correct, your database name is correct, everything is correct, then you need to click on a test connection. The moment you will click on a test connection, it will say you message that all good, okay, perfectly fine, then click on OK. So if you will read the data source name is Shrikant, initial catalog means database name, and I'm connecting to the Microsoft SQL Server, and this is the one, and these are the shared credentials, and I am using the Windows credential. Perfectly fine. Okay, so let's see, I'm going to click on OK. Now if I'll come here and I'll see one new database kind of stuff is being created, and if I'll click on this, I will see basically a shared data source. Okay, so basically data source means the connection to the server. I can create as many as connection over the object. But if you see the name shared data source, so this data source will be available for all the RDL which I will be creating. So this is a shared, this is a public, this is I can say public one for all the report. Okay, then shared data set, let's do that. Right click on the shared data set, click on add new data set. Sometime what happen, sometime for example, let's say I'm creating one data set. where I want to pull the data for the basically employee, basically not employee, basic company detail, and that dataset has been used multiple times. So I'll, rather than creating the dataset on multiple times, I'll create that dataset on a centralized location, and that will be available for all the RDL. So I need to go for the shared data set. So the thing is that difference between the dataset and the data source is that in data source you don't need to pass the table name or anything, but when you go for the dataset, there you need to pass your text or the store procedure. Okay, so I'm giving the name for the dataset as first dataset, and the data source I'm using this one, and text I don't know, store procedure I don't know. Okay, so let's click on checkbox. Okay, here we don't have anything. Okay, perfectly fine. If you don't know anything, just click on a query designer. So basically here you need to give your code. Let's say you created one store procedure, simply create the store procedure and just give the access. Here what are we going to do? Now we will see the are we seeing anything here like database design, anything? No, right? Okay, perfectly fine. So what are we going to do? I'm going to create a basic thing here. Select get it or select one. This is my company ID. Basically this is a temporary result set and I'm running this. This is just for understanding. You can pass any query here because you are on the server. In next video I will connect to the server and there I'll do lot of things. So just for demonstration purpose, pass any query, any test query. So you have written the code like this. Okay, perfectly fine. When you go to the fields, you will see here company ID as output of the query, options, different options you will see. Filters, we don't have parameters, as there is no parameters, so you won't see any parameter means the passing value for running the script, running the script or the code. So in this one we created the select clause, perfectly fine. Click on OK. Okay, now if we'll come back here, we'll see the our data set, and which is basically shared, and if you double click on that, you will see the query, respective query. Okay, so what's the difference between the data sources and the data set? In the data sources we haven't passed any query, we only pass the connection. In the data set we pass the reference to the data sources. Let's see that. So in first data set we have given a reference of first shared data sources, which basically we created earlier. Okay, so this is basically difference between the data sources and the data set. And just to tell you, this data sources and the data set will be available for all the RDL. Like first RDL we created, we'll add one more RDL, second RDL, third RDL, fourth RDL. So all these RDL can access the shared data sources and the data set. Okay, hope you guys enjoyed the video related to the data sources in reporting services and the data sets in relation in reporting services. And thanks for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed our video. If you like our video, please don't forget to share and subscribe with your friend. Thanks for watching.